Since Sunday, we've been seeing a lot of stuff happening when it comes to Los Angeles. We have the Speaker of the House, third in line to the president, who believes that he didn't want to say anything about whether or not there should be legal penalties for Governor Newsom in California, but he did say that Governor Newsom should be tarred and feathered. So there you go with how our political world is going. But we have 45 cities across dozens of states have held demonstrations over President Trump's immigration crackdown, decision to send the National Guard and Marines to the Southern California city of LA. Now, there is absolutely no reason why the Marines should be being deployed to an American city. I don't know why this isn't the line in the sand for constitutionalists. I don't know why there are people who didn't draw a line in the sand sooner. But if you're somebody who really believes in the Constitution, if you want to wrap yourself up in the Constitution and claim your love for it and love for this country, you cannot do that and not come out and oppose what Donald Trump is doing by deploying the U.S. military against our own citizens. We already know that's something that he wanted to do because he wanted to be able to shoot protesters in the legs when he wanted to go take the photo op with the upside down Bible outside of the church near the White House. But, that wasn't enough for some people. So when is enough finally going to be enough? I mean, we all know that there are plenty of people who are conservatives who will always double down on 12, who will never admit they were wrong. And if you tell them that they're wrong, they'll just dig in. What's it going to take? I mean, you do have one of the people who was the head of Voto Latino, Donald Trump, I guess it was. What's the exact name? I don't know. But we already have, him. Let's bring up the person's name again. Latinos for Trump leader Hector Luis Valdez Cocho, a Cuban activist who rallied others to vote for Trump, has been picked up by ICE and is in a deportation center waiting to be deported. Now, do I think Donald Trump is going overboard with his deportations? Absolutely. Do I think he's acting in an unconstitutional way? The Supreme Court voted 9-0 to say that he was acting in an unconstitutional way. That individuals deserve and have the guaranteed right of due process, regardless of whether or not they're a citizen, because how else do you prove that the person's not here legally without, allowing them the opportunity to, have a hearing to see whether or not they should be held or not? The idea that these people are against habeas corpus, again, just shows why they wipe their collective asses with the Constitution. But at least this guy effed around, and now he's entering the find out phase. And I just want more of this to happen. More of Latinos for Trump to be, let's see. More Latinos for Trump to be deported and to see why they made the absolute. And here's a picture of Hector Luis Valdez Cocho with his Trump 2024 Let's Go Brandon flag. And now he's sitting in a detention center. It couldn't have happened to a better person. Unfortunately, it has happened to many people, people who have not gotten due process rights, people who have been ordered to come back to the country, like Garcia. They finally are bringing him back to the country, and they say, "Oh, we're going to put him up for, on trial." Fine, do it. Prove your case. The government isn't restricted from, not deporting anybody. The government just has to do it in a legal way. So yes, if you think that somebody is deserving of deportation, you should have to prove why they are deserving of deportation. But these sick, twisted fucks who don't, who claim to like the Constitution but clearly don't, are more than happy to support this, dictator. The dictator that's not even a very popular dictator. If this is to be believed, Seat fillers needed. June 14th, Constitution Avenue, D.C. Team Mellon Events is looking for seat fillers and extras to provide their name for space maximization and attendance perception for an event taking place in Washington, D.C. on June 14th. What event might that be? Extras and seat fillers will check in on the morning of June 15th at 9 a.m. Extras are required to wear red, white, and blue clothing and will be provided with a red hat to wear. Gold accessories are acceptable as well. The team will advise the extras where to stand or sit according to the line of sight from the VIP viewing platform area. Extras and seat fillers will be paid a flat daily fee. Don't believe that. I would never believe that they're going to actually pay money that I would owe if this is legit. They'll be provided a lunch of fast food and soda. But what fast food is it? Are people going to get hamburgers and cheeseburgers, or what are they going to get? We encourage people of color and ethnic groups to sign up for maximum perception control. Maximum perception control. And these individuals will be prominently displayed on the televised broadcast and local viewing screens to be seen by the VIP platform, i.e., so Donald Trump can have his ego stroked outside, probably hoping that other people will stroke something else inside. But, now, is this legit? Have I confirmed this as being 100% accurate? No, but it is plausible. And if it comes out that this was just a fake post, advertising something that was going on, to make people think that they're going to get paid when they're not, if it's just a troll to the people on the right, awesome. I hope everybody, if this is fake, and I hope everybody that shows up expecting to get paid won't get paid, and then they'll get even more angry, or maybe some of them might get angry, but the rest of them will just be like, meh, I'll still support him. Because, Donald Trump can do crap like leave people freezing in a parking lot and not get them rides back to their cars from where they were parked. And they'll sit there and be like, I still love Donald Trump. He's still my guy. Even though he tried to make me freeze to death, I still like him. So, anyway. But yeah, flat fee of $1,000 paid in cryptocurrency provided by Fight LLC is what the last thing says. Now, does that make it more believable or less believable? With the amount of people, of how much they love crypto now. They used to hate it because Donald Trump hated it, but now Donald Trump loves it, so they love it too. Because they can't think for themselves because they are the poorly educated. And Donald Trump did say after the 2016 Nevada primaries how much he enjoys having, or he loves, the poorly educated. Because without the poorly educated, he would not be where he is. Of course, this is other thing that I found. When Roe was overturned and women bled out in ERs, we heard states' rights, which is not a thing. States have powers, people have rights, but that's what conservatives say. States' rights. When guns became the number one killer of kids, they still yelled about the so-called state rights. But one protest against injustice, suddenly there's federal boots on the ground. They don't panic when people die, only when people speak, which is why we need to speak loudly, frequently, loudly, and even more frequently and even more loudly. Because democracy will die with silence, not with loud actions. Now, I'm not going to be, I was listening to one of our favorite people the other day, and I don't always agree with all of the people who I say we should support, because I'm not going to sit here and argue about 1% of the things we disagree on when we agree about 99% of all the other stuff, especially on the fact that Donald Trump is a giant crap sandwich and needs to be stopped legally. But he was basically saying that, I think it was Hal, he was saying that criticizing people for wearing masks or whatever. I'm like, if you can protest without a mask, if you have the privilege to protest without a mask, then by all means, make yourself known. Make it known far and wide that you are not supporting this terrible president and all of the crap that he does. But there are people who are marginalized and oppressed folks who are less likely to be able to stand up and, show their faces when fighting against tyranny. And I'm more concerned about getting more bodies out there fighting against tyranny than I am about whether or not they're wearing a mask. So one part, I guess me and him will have to disagree on is simply the fact that not everybody has the ability to be able to wear a mask, to be able to go maskless, and say, hey, I don't support Donald Trump as president. I don't support the actions he's taken. And here's my face so everybody can see. Not everybody is that privileged. So if you can go out maskless, by all means do so. If you can, make the statement with your face and not just your, feet marching along, holding a sign or whatever, by all means do it. But I'm not going to sit here and judge anybody who says that they don't feel safe without wearing a mask out there, because there are definitely people who are not safe if they go maskless, who will put themselves, put their families, put their loved ones at greater risk. So anyway, we need to fight back. And of course, everybody, find something in your area on Saturday, do a counter. Look, if I could afford it and I was healthy enough to be able to do it, I would absolutely get my ass up there and go march and counter protest Donald Trump, especially when he says that he's going to punish, I guess, people who he feels are going to do that. I would absolutely do it if I could. Unfortunately, I probably won't be able to do much of anything like that for at least another 6 months or more, because it will depend on how long it takes for my knees to heal once I get my knee replaced. So anyway, but I encourage everybody to do all it is that you can do to fight back, because if we don't, we will lose, and a lot of people will lose.